What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Eddie J out of Lancaster, PA. MG Strings Power Washing, Soft Washing, Window Cleaning, and all that. Oh shit! Oh shit! My motherfucking surface cleaner fell out. It didn't fall off. It's hanging on the side though. Secure your gear, man. Secure your gear. Hold on real quick. Get your boy in the mix. Oh, it really is a chill. Get your boy in the mix. Get your boy in the mix. Turn that corner. Don't say boop, 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 boop. Happens to the best of us, man. You know what I'm saying? You strap that seatbelt back in. Alright. So I'm riding out here today. Just riding. You know what I'm saying? Just riding. I usually talk about, like, mostly, I think one of the main things I talk about a lot, I would probably say, is marketing. But today, I'm going to talk about tips. The tips that I use, my main tips. And these are the tips that you need to either, my two most common application methods are either I'm going to downstream it or I'm going to XJet it. Okay, so typically when I downstream, these are the tips that I use. Okay, my number one tip is a J-Rod 4-banger right here. Has a shooter tip to hit up high about 3.5 stories you can get with a 4-gallon-a-minute machine with this. And it has these 4 plugins right here, so you can switch between either one. So this is a soap high, this is another soap high, and these are right here two rinse lows, rinse low and a rinse high. So I got those tips on there, but I love my shooter tip when applying soap onto the house. This is my favorite. Now, if you're downstreaming, you're going to need a downstream injector. If you have a 4-gallon-a-minute machine, I like this General Pump downstream injector. What ends up happening is you plug this usually into your machine, and this right here, the water will flow out this way. This is your little, you hook a tube to this, and you have your siphon on it, and that's what's going to suck up your chemical with the downstream injector. And this is how you apply your soap. So I use that. But if you wanted to do it like the other two tips that I use, this right here is an M5 twist nozzle. Now it's similar to like an XJet, but it's not as doesn't have the jet to it pretty much, so it's not as like high pressure. But this is good for soaping and rinsing, so you can do a combination of both with this when you're downstreaming with this nozzle. This could be a nozzle that you just use, a multi-purpose type of nozzle. Now this is the M5 XJet, so you see it has this tube right here, so where you can hook this tube up, and this is how you suck soap out of the bucket. And this is good though because it won't go through your gut, like through your whole system, through all your hoses and all that type of stuff. So your equipment will last longer this way. But I do like the XJet for rinsing, and I like the XJet for rinsing because it gives you a little bit more force, a little bit more velocity. You can clean gutters a little bit better. I feel like with the XJet, it's going to give you a little bit more just velocity with it and power. Now on the cheap side though, if you're just getting started out, you can get these two tips right here. You can get these right at Lowe's. I think they're like $10, $9 and some change or something like that for these two tips right here. And this right here is just it's a zero nozzle, but it's a 2-story zero, so it goes up high, but it's not like as forceful as like the red tip zero, because it's like a zero for like longer distance. Now you could rinse with this one right here. It's going to be, I mean, you don't want to do it. It's a lot higher pressure, but it's almost like XJet pressure. But the difference between this and an XJet, when an XJet is fully open like this, you see that? That's fully open. It's actually only a 5. So the jet's only a 5, so it's not as forceful as a 0. And then when you close it all the way, it'll shoot a fan at a 60. And then this right here, this pink nozzle right here, this is actually a soap nozzle as well. This is a 2-story soap. So this will allow you to get soap high. So you can use that black tip that comes with your pressure washer to soap low and then soap high. So those are pretty much like the tips that I use. Sometimes a little pro tip, I'll actually use this 2-story blue. If I got some leftover just mildew or algae or any type of organic growth on the gutters, I'll actually just hit it with this right here. This won't really do too much damage, or not too much. It won't really damage the gutters at all, but it actually gives it enough force to knock stuff off. I wouldn't really use this directly on the house. If you use this, you want to go at a side angle and kind of swipe and wave it. You know what I mean? You don't never want to hit it directly on with this tip right here. But yeah, those are my primary tips. Outside of that, sometimes I will have to, like, more so if I'm working on wood or something like that, I'll use like maybe a white tip or yellow tip, but for the most part I can just use like my X-Jet nozzle is the nozzle that I use. Then also sometimes, you got to bring that turbo nozzle out, not too often, but this is more like on concrete and stuff like that. But for the most part I use just my surface cleaner. But yeah, that's the tips that I use. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to give you a little tips. You feel me? Yo, this is fun, man. So today actually is my 6th day without alcohol. I'm going on a 30-day run right now because this really helps clear your mind, clear your system out. And when I do that, man, I'm able to accomplish so much in short periods of time, man. It's all about condensing time frames, man. And this is something that my mentor has showed me and I learned through application, actually getting it done and doing it myself. You know what I mean? So, man, you'll really surprise yourself. Like, commit to saying to yourself that, hey, I'm gonna do 30 days of posting on my Facebook page. I'm gonna do 30 days of putting up signs. I'm gonna do 30 days of, I don't know, going for a walk or doing some push-ups, or 30 days, right? And when you hit that 30, you'll be so proud of yourself that, you know what, I'm gonna just go to 60, and then you hit 60, you do 90, you can go to 120, 180, whatever you want to do, you know what I mean? But you will surprise and shock yourself with that dedicated discipline of focus will do for yourself, for your life, and ultimately for your family. Because when you're doing that to better yourself and improve your family and your income, sky's the limit. You know what I mean? Now look how long, if you're on your job right now, how long you've been dedicating and focusing and working yourself on that job, right? You've been there years, 20, 30 years, 10 years, 50, whatever, how much time you put in there. You be getting up every single day. So if you can focus on, creating a lifestyle for someone else, you can focus on doing that for yourself and see where you can be. If you work, like Jim Rohn used to always say, work harder on yourself than you do on a job. Work harder on yourself than you do on a job, boy. Let that marinate for a little bit. Let that sit on your soul for a second. Like, a lot of folks is working harder on their job than they are on themselves. Woo! I'm telling you, man, when you reverse those two roles. So when you see somebody with a business, don't be surprised when you see them pull up in that new whip. They doing things that you don't even think is possible because you so focused on working hard at your job. You waiting on a 50-cent raise that you're going to end up paying out in taxes anyway. You know what I'm saying? But when you focus on you, there's no limit to what you can do. So it's your boy Eddie J, MG Streams Pressure Washing, Soft Washing out of Lancaster, PA. Veteran, owned, entrepreneur. Hit the like button, follow, subscribe, do all those things. You like my jaunt, I like your jaunt, and just keep this thing rolling, man. I'm interested. Love the comments when I get comments and stuff like that. Always try to hit everybody back. You know what I mean? If you got questions, I haven't really been making a lot of videos or anything. But I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? At some point, it's gonna hit a critical mass where I'm making more, and I'm like, wow, how did I get here? Because I focused on it. So right now, this could be a shift for me in focusing on doing more videos, and making that part of my daily life. But as of right now, it's always a pleasure. Get your boys out.